Hey guys. Boom! So let's talk about the 3 games that I recently just finished. These 3 games are Prince of Persia, The Forgotten Sands, 3D Dot Game Heroes, and Red Dead Redemption. So how do I explain the feelings of Prince of Persia, The Forgotten Sands? Prince of Persia is like this really teeny tiny can of Coke. Look at this tiny can of Coke, it's so small, it's only 150 milliliters. Well, the reason why Prince of Persia is like this small can of Coke on a really hot sunny day is because on a hot sunny day, you're extremely thirsty. And you know, I don't need to tell you this, but on a hot sunny day when you're super thirsty, this is not gonna suffice. This is not going to quench your thirst. Sure, when you're drinking the Coke, it's gonna be awesome, but you know what? It's not gonna last very long. Why? Because it's so small. And after you're done with it, you're gonna yearn for more. But no matter how hard you suck this can, there's not gonna be any more Coke for you to drink. And the sad thing is that you probably spent just about the same amount of money as a regular can of pop, which would have lasted you a little bit longer. So just like that small can of pop on a hot sunny day, Prince of Persia is actually a really fantastic game, however it doesn't last very long. You can basically finish this game in about 5 hours, and guess what? You paid the same amount as a game that could last like 60 hours. Long and short, this game is still fantastic and you should check it out. It's a whole lot better than the first one for the PS3, a billion times better than the second one on PS2, on par with the third one on the PS2, but not as good as the first Prince of Persia for PS2. If you've never played a Prince of Persia game before, you should definitely check out this one first. 치강! 3D Dot Game Heroes, what's that like? That game is like a regular sized can of pop on a hot sunny day. How so? I would say that 355 milliliters of liquid is basically the perfect amount of liquid if you were to quench your thirst on a bright sunny day. And therefore I would say 3D Dot Game Heroes is basically 355 milliliters of liquidy goodness. It's a great and fun game. It lasts a good length, about 15 hours. The graphics are really cool, the controls are really great, and if you like Zelda games, you'll love this one as well, because they're basically the same. And finally, Red Dead Redemption! Red Dead Redemption? What's that like? Red Dead Redemption is like a 500 milliliter can of pop. Look how big this can of pop is! At first it tastes really awesome, but when you hit the 355 milliliter threshold, that liquid just doesn't taste very good anymore. The remaining liquid's still good. Coke is Coke, right? It's just that maybe too much of a good thing could be bad. So just like that large can of pop, Red Dead Redemption kind of just overstays its welcome. At first it's super awesome, it's like a western Grand Theft Auto. The atmosphere is really good, the graphics are awesome, the controls are really tight, but then you hit about the 15-hour mark and the story's actually technically already over. But for some reason, the game makes you keep on playing for another few hours. Why? The main conflict is already over, why are you making me play even more? If it's to make the ending even more impactful, I don't think they did a very good job at it. In the case of Red Dead Redemption, when the main conflict was solved, I think they should have just ended it there. Just like this can of pop, they should have stayed at the magical number of 355 milliliters. Why the extra 200 something? No point. But yeah, regardless of which game you pick up, whether it's 3D Dot Game Heroes, Red Dead Redemption, or Prince of Persia, they're all really fantastic games and you should definitely check them all out. But yeah, as a quick reference as to which game you might want to pick up, remember, Prince of Persia is this small can of pop, 3D Dot Game Heroes is this regular sized can of pop, and Red Dead Redemption is this oversized large can of pop. Oh, and since we're on the topic of pop cans, why do they make these puny pop cans anyways? Some people go, well, it's good for little kids. With the whole obesity problem, if you give a kid a small can of pop, they'll drink that for lunch and then they'll stop. They wouldn't want more than just a can of pop. If they intake less sugar, then they'll be less fat. But guess what? But remember how I said a small can of pop like this does not satisfy? So you drink one of these and then you yearn for more, and then more, and more, and more. And guess what? You end up drinking more than just a regular can of pop. You drink like 4 cans of pop. So in the end, it's just better to give them a regular sized can of pop. But yeah, enough of these games and these cans of pop. Chur. That's Mandarin for spoon. I'm spooning you. So I guess my question for you today is, what do you believe is the perfect amount of milliliters for a can of pop on a hot sunny day? Let me know below! And remember to subscribe! Hope you learned something. Anyways, bye-bye! A 2-liter bottle of club soda or water tonic? It seems to last forever. No one likes drinking it and it tastes disgusting on its own. What game does that remind you of? Prototype!